Hello TDXs! I'm your host, Remy, broadcasting from Oil Rig, trademark, to bring you some good old-fashioned TDX news. While the state of the game is currently on ice, we can excitedly look forward to the Expert Mode's revamp. With such a massive update on the horizon that will, no doubt, mark a new chapter in TDX's book, I feel as if we ought to take some time to look back on some loose ends we might be leaving behind. From the underutilized cliff and obstacle mechanic to the forgotten water towers, there are loads of things TDX can work on before jumping headfirst into any new innovations. Incidents such as the Halloween event to the awkwardly balanced towers, there have been many cases of TDX biting off more than they can chew due to their over-ambition. Join me as I discuss these topics with some prominent figures in the community. This is the current state of... And have they lost the plot?
One of TDX's first innovations to the Roblox tower defense genre is implementing the cliff/obstacle mechanic. Popularized by BTD6, obstacles
Alright. Can we just take a moment to talk about how much of a self-insert John is in his own game? Like, you'd think that being the owner is already enough, but no. He just had to make himself a tower as well. And if that wasn't enough, he decides to give said tower 9 whole skins. That is, mind you, the most skins a tower has in the whole roster of towers. And if that wasn't enough, he also decided to insert himself in the lore, turning himself into an announcer of sorts, or a tip.
We would like to apologize for the minor interruption in the broadcast. That wasn't supposed to happen. I'm so sorry.
What the f*** me? I was supposed to say this part.
I'm sorry. So Sauce was just there as like the placeholder. It wasn't my fault. I
told you to jump on time, and guess what?
TDX and Bloons Tower Defense 6 have a lot of things in common, because naturally a lot of tower defense games take from BTD6, but there's this one specific innovation that TDX took and implemented into the Roblox tower defense genre.
One that adds another layer of difficulty to the mix.
One mechanic that John took a lot of pride in, but kind of forgot about ever since release, and that mechanic is the use of obstacles in line of sight.
And increased difficulty it did. Maps such as Sword Fights on the Heights, Military Harbor, and especially Cow Annoyance made great use of the sight blockage mechanic. There was even a time period before release where placing towers on top of cliffs applied a range buff, giving players more incentive to interact with the map to overcome obstacles. However, with the release of the barracks, the obstacle mechanic became virtually obsolete since they completely ignored it. I believe that after this event, John put the cliff/obstacle mechanic on the back burner and decided to work on different things. Of course, the mechanic is still a part of the game and is used every now and then, but has since then been reduced to a slight inconvenience, leaving the concept to be forgotten.
What's good, y'all? It's Corso. Are you sick of having to fit all your towers into a singular cramped area, allowing them to all get physically abused by any enemy with a stun attack? Not to worry, I got just the thing. Let me introduce you to the all-new, completely original, and innovative cliff towers. Setting it up is very human and easy to use. Step 1 is finding some elevated real estate. And step 2? There is no step 2. That's it! With this revolutionary cutting-edge technology, not only are you saving space for your puny ground towers, but they are also stun immune. So forget placing down any stupid medics. Get her out of your loadout today and make space for our brand new cliff towers.
Ugh! Cliff towers? This is Noob Joiner, reporting live from MTT News. And we aren't gonna copy Mid Defense Simulator. Cliff towers were so 30 seconds ago. Instead, let's place them inside water. Now that is more original. Forget having to search for elevated real estate. when there's a sea of opportunities. Okay, that was really bad. That was really bad.
The all-new innovative water towers brought tons of hype and showed lots of potential. Both current towers, while on opposite sides of the powerhouse spectrum, are balanced together by limiting what maps they are used on. This not only motivates an increase in strategizing when picking up maps for both low and high-end players, but also adds an extra layer to said maps. TDX's maps have already proven themselves to be a standout feature that separates them from the rest of the competition. But with the water towers and the limitless creativity it adds to map creation combined, brings TDX to that next level, akin to BTD6 maps and their water towers. But as we see now, those two towers were the only ones of its kind ever made, or at least for now. But until then, water towers have become nothing more than untapped potential just sitting there, waiting to be expanded upon. While the concept of water towers is basically just cliff towers and a direct copy of the Balloons water towers, there was still some original creativity to be had there. I'd say if given more time to properly establish water warfare as a core game mechanic, it could have stood a chance to live up to the hype it had built before release.
Alright gang, I've gathered you all here today to discuss the 2024's Halloween event.
But sir, we're 6 months early.
What? I knew that. Anyways, listen up gang, this is going to be our first real serious seasonal event, so I need this update to be absolutely massive. First things first, Battle Pass. We gotta have it, and it's gotta be better than the terrible one we had last time. I want 16 skins. That's 2 more than the last one. Oh, and don't forget the nukes and ridiculously low amounts of XP at the very end. I know the players really enjoyed that one last time.
Alright,
Sounds good. Yeah, Robin's right.
Next, I want 2 event towers. That's right, everyone is used to only getting 1, but this time we're giving them 2. Only in TDX, am I right, fellas?
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, Robin's right.
Oh, and lastly, I want 3 nights so I can milk this event for as long as possible.
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, Robin's right.
Oh, sir, you're a genius. From how early you've told us, I bet we can get this all done right before Halloween.
Exactly. I am a genius.
Sir, TDS has plans to make the Halloween update bigger than ours.
Are you kidding me? They added a Miku skin that they oh my god. That they preposterously overcharged. What could TDS possibly be making that could save them from that?
Well, they're planning on reworking some.
Nobody cares. Next.
Beating the greedy accusations by adding a battle pass with an optional premium track.
Thanks for the good news. What's next?
They plan on adding 2 event towers instead of 1.
They what?
And separating the event in 3 nights they'll release over time.
3 nights? That's 1 less than the solar eclipse. That's preposterous. I cannot allow TDS to gain the upper hand. You, get a pen and paper.
Oh, okay.
First off, I want a battle pass with 50 skins.
I don't think we can make that many, sir.
Fine, I'll meet you at the middle, 16. Next, I want 3 event towers.
Sir, I don't think we'll have enough time to make 3, let alone 2.
I don't care how you do it. Matter of fact, I don't care if it's a useless scarecrow that does absolutely nothing. I want 3 towers.
Yes, sir.
And lastly, I want 4 nights.
I'm not sure if we have enough time to make that many nights. We've only got the resources to make 2 before the trailer deadline, and that's if we make our coder work the weekend.
What? I thought you said we were ahead of schedule.
Well, that was before you decided to add all the extra.
Fine, cut the gameplay trailer. We'll have the animation team work on a teaser that shows absolutely 0 gameplay.
Sir? What about all the plagiarizing complaints from HR?
That's preposterous. You're fired.
Oh, man.
Alright, what's next?
Something more original.
What?
Something that's only
in TDX.
Good idea, sir.
I got just the thing. Instead of having 2 paths, I want 4. No, double that. 8. Screw it. Just make it 15.
But, sir, how will we fit 15 paths without blocking tower placements?
Easy. Make the towers placeable on the pathing.
But wouldn't that mean the enemies will just walk through the towers? Just like TDS's duck hunt.
Yes. No. I hate TDS. Scrap all that.
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, Robin's right.
Plants vs. Zombies. I want these creatures munching through our towers to get to the base.
But sir, our coder won't have enough time to program all of that. and be balanced by the time Halloween comes around.
Then fire him!
Sir, he's our only coder.
Unfire him. I don't care what you do. I want all of these features added into the game right before TDS does.
Yes, sir. And one more thing, sir. What will we call it?
Defend the center.
Sir, that name is already taken.
Oh, defend the artillery. Now that is more original. And only in TDX.
Alright.
Yeah, so just because you decided not to directly copy TDS this time around, Plants vs. Zombies, doesn't exactly make your content any more original. Hello Internet, and welcome back to another TDX film theory. And what was John thinking when planning out the 2024 Halloween event? Scratch that. Where was his development team to tell him what they can and can't do? Whether they were too scared to speak up in fear of John's retribution, or the entire team as a whole underestimated their time management skills, the event came out massively unfinished. From the drop in quality towards the last night, to the incomplete final boss with the very limited moveset and lackluster final form, 2024's Halloween event felt like it had so much potential, but didn't have the time to see it through. But with that being said, out of all of the new innovations and ambitions brought forward, there was one feature in particular that, while being incredibly unbalanced, was quite enjoyable and I'd argue is this event's saving grace. That's right, I'm talking about the Defend the Center mechanic.
Thanks, Rogue. I'll take it from here. Diving deeper into what I like to call the PVZ effect held lots of flaws not many people might have noticed upon release, mainly revolving around tower balancing. Pre-existing strong late game towers like Golden Juggernaut, XWM, and surprisingly the ULTRAKILL made short work of all the difficulty spikes that were there to challenge us. Even early game towers such as the Barracks reigned supreme. Let me explain. Amongst several nerfs, the main limiter was taking away the Barracks' ability to all stack up in one place. However, with the way the map was set up, they completely bypassed this nerf since they were no longer piling up in the same lane. This resulted in both early and late game being extremely one-dimensional, since using anything else would only be wasting your time. See, that normally wouldn't be an issue since the pure enjoyment usually outweighs time constraints, but this wouldn't apply to Nights 3 and 4 since its entire wave structure formula was completely switched around. Operating on a much shorter schedule, ranging from 5 to 6 waves per night, enemies were forced to cram together in said waves. Ironically, this overfluctuation forced enemies to be sent out in waves within their own waves, consequently dragging out each round even longer than they would be on paper. While the gameplay was unanimously enjoyable even in its unbalanced state, there were still tons of inconsistencies that, if fixed, would have made the PVZ effect 10 times more effective. I believe if left behind the curtain to develop just a little bit longer, it could have been so much better. But as we see now, due to John's over-ambition, he decided to pull the cord and jump the gun early.
Hey, I'm LUNIP, look at my art!
Whoa!
And check out this variety!
Variety!
We got doodles, emotes, headshots, and more!
And more?
Giving me your money is super easy!
Tell me how!
Cash App, gift cards, Nitro, and Robux, but preferably Cash App. 20% off purchases for every $100 spent, and it's stackable.
Stackable!
Ordering is very human and easy to use. Here's how. Step 1. Send me your character reference. Prices may vary. Step 1.5. Provide a pose reference. This is optional. Step 2. Choose a type of drawing. Headshot, half body, or full body. Step 3. Choose a style. Doodle, emote, flat color, or render. Estimated delivery is within 3 days to a week. I will send work in progress updates periodically. Thank you for shopping at LUNIP. And for every commission you receive, your favorite TDX YouTuber Remy will get 5% discounts towards his next project.
Of all the various different towers in Tower Defense X, Artillery has to be the most unique.
Artillery, talk about outdated, that was 49 updates ago. The most unique tower has to be, without a doubt, the Mobster.
$1,850. You can place this baby down for only $1,850 and cover large distances with an explosive shot. Not only that, you're also able to manually aim the shot, which lets you pick and choose which targets you want to eliminate, stealth included.
Well, with a slightly higher cost at $1,975, the mobster lets you get summons that grant map-wide range, while simultaneously acting as leak protection and stealth detection, all this and more while not having to constantly pick and choose where to shoot.
Top Path offers faster fire rate at very affordable prices, and even auto-aim at the 5th tier upgrade, making artillery a cheap crowd control option for later waves.
Cost efficiency is definitely important, but what's even more important is the ability to make a bunch of money. Bottom Path Mobster gains the Place Bounty ability, which places a permanent marker on the strongest enemy selected in its range. When the marked enemy dies, the player who placed the ability gains a bonus cash reward that is based upon a percentage of the enemy's health value. There can only be one bounty on an enemy, but several players can place their own bounties on the same enemy.
Bottom Path slows down the fire rate, but in exchange does more damage. While not having the luxury of auto-aiming, you'll be able to feel the power behind each shot, especially on its 5th tier upgrade, where it's able to ignore explosive resistance. Expanding its health pool massively, it also gains stun immunity, making it truly feel like an absolute unit.
100k not enough? Alright, I like your style. Never settle for less, and let me tell you, size does matter. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Life insurance. In this economy, you can't afford losing any of your precious towers, especially with event difficulties ramping up exponentially. Think of it as a long-term investment for the future. With upwards of 35% money back guaranteed upon tower death, a few of these bad boys around your frontline defenses will save more than enough money to get you back on your feet.
Artillery can be considered as one of, if not the most unique towers in TDX, encouraging a playstyle that grants the player full control of the battlefield.
Are you kidding me? What do you mean? Artillery sucks and is outdated. Who the fuck is it?
Oh my goodness. When did uniqueness become so complicated? It's almost like TDX Lost The Plot or something. Because what's better than not giving a crap about how new additions fit into the game's core foundation? What's better than bloating the game with new features that don't relate at all with what we currently have? Does that not sound good to you? Does it not? Answer me. Do you still enjoy this game? Answer me. Do you still enjoy this game?
Ever since the release of the Endless mode, newer towers were forced to evolve with it. Introducing new mechanics that weren't yet implemented in the 4-core game modes created a barrier between older towers and newer towers. The old ones never became useless or bad, kind of. The enemies simply became more complicated, as did the new towers, which could lead to confusion and the accusations of power creep. Not having a reliable base to scale towers off of makes new ones feel out of place. For instance, Ghost feels like they should be strong, but doesn't fit well in Expert. Sort of. While Sentry feels like it should be weak, but is actually really good in Expert on some maps. Then there are cases like the Mobster, where it's all over the place. Its top path feels like it should be good conceptually, but can easily be outscaled by other towers who specialize in that role, literally barracks. Whereas the bottom path feels too niche since its early game can be substituted for farm, which requires way less effort to utilize. The only time its economic value outshines farm is in the Endless mode due to the massive bounty potential and the money returned when towers around it die, even though it would be better to not have them die at all. While Mobster and quite frankly the rest of the new towers are very unique, I can't help but feel like they're too convoluted to fit TDX's current ecosystem. It struggles to find value outside of Endless and modern events, which I assume will be the new methodology when scaling future towers. So until we get a reworked Expert mode for a stronger base to scale towers on, these newer towers are forever stuck in limbo, added in too soon for their own good. And now, we present to you an exclusive interview by Salt.
Hi, I'm Salt, the one and literally only TDX journalist. And today, I'm joined with some of TDX's staff in hopes they can give us a sneak peek into what the game's future has in store for us. First up, we have Nidzo, a playtester who helps make balance changes. Tell me, Nidzo, what has John gotten you to try out early that the public doesn't already know about?
Well, from my experience working for John, I can say that it is a great honor and truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I am very thankful to have.
So from past streams, John has stated that Refractor, Behemoth, and possibly War Machine are all finished but aren't released due to balancing reasons. Is John scared of power creep and of the potential uproar it could cause within the community?
I think that nothing can ever be perfect, but that doesn't stop us at TDX to try our best to deliver the closest product to perfection.
What? Next up, we have Marcus Lee, lead concept artist who is actually responsible for about 50% of TDX's original designs.
Thank you for having me, Mr. What's his name again? Thank you for having me, Mr. South. I would just like to say that I am glad to be here and happy to answer your question.
Please, thank you for agreeing to come on here. And I'll hold you to that. So tell me, with expert modes revamped on the horizon and Eradicator Mark II's redesign released to the public, that leaves us questioning just exactly how much is changing.
Expert mods is the one of TDX's oldest mods. I think that has many updates besides John nerf Elite Grenadier. Nobody knows why. Even I don't know why. But everything changed, I think.
Interesting. What about any skins? I've been told that you're actually tasked with making skins alongside enemy designs. Are there any potential new cases on the roadmap? Maybe a collab in the future?
When John gives me a task and tell me what to do, I don't have chance to think about any other things usually. I do the robot and futuristic, I think.
Well, thank you for the insight, Marcus. And lastly, we have Mr. P, known for making enemy designs polar opposite to Marcus's. He is also mostly responsible for writing TDX's lore. Please tell me, if you could, what is Dr. Xenon's in-game plan? The GDA has bested her at every turn, and yet she seems so far from finished. Will she and Advisor ever get married?
Firstly, thank you for having me. And secondly, I'm actually really glad you brought that up.
Wait, really?
Yeah, man, I feel like this massive burden is about to be lifted off my shoulders getting to finally say this.
Well, you are completely welcome. Please, take as much time as you need to explain in as much detail as you possibly can.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know, man. I don't know what happens to Dr. Xenon.
But don't you like write the lore?
Yeah.
What the heck is wrong with you people?
So, the PvP mode and Nightmare maps are definitely the hottest and most anticipated updates that TDX has to offer so far. And coming off the history of really ambitious and rushed updates, I hope they can handle these two with extreme caution. In the past, we've seen John boast about his many ideas for the game in the form of a roadmap, many of which never came to fruition. I think that what TDX is doing now, with the expert rework, is a lot more beneficial to the community as a whole. Instead of overhyping us with trailers, promises, and promotional material months in advance, John has been a lot more subdued and tight-lipped regarding the reworks to the core modes. While it may seem backwards, having less teases of updates helps manage expectations and keep everyone, both developer and player, in the right frame of mind. Basically, the PvP and Nightmare maps are bound to be great updates. However, if released too hastily or if they're too overhyped, they could be a repeat of TDX's worst hour and possibly dig them even deeper into an already massive hole of problems. However, it's also important to keep in mind that this is a worst-case scenario, and we have every reason to believe that John has learned from his mistakes.
Did somebody say nightmare?
Yeah, sorry about that, Remy. I'll take care of this.
What are you doing? Get down. It's not time.
In conclusion, TDX has proven time and time again that they have what it takes to be innovative in the tower defense genre, shown with the countless features that have tons of range to grow, but simply refuses to do so, constantly losing the plot. For instance, the cliff/obstacle mechanic and water towers held massive potential to be a standout feature from the rest of the competition on Roblox, but due to a lack of vision and resilience, John overlooks these ideas to prop up more new innovations, even though he is already sitting on a massive pile of potentially great ideas. Then there are instances on the complete other side of the spectrum where concepts like the PVZ effect, the Halloween event as a whole, and the over-engineered towers were incredible ways to expand both gameplay and depth, but were unfortunately poorly thrown together and rushed as a result of TDX's over-ambition. Mistakes were made and roadmaps were forgotten. However, I see that TDX has now taken the necessary steps to address this long-time problem, entering the expert revamp, finally taking a step back and working with things they already have, returning to the plot. Thank you guys so much for watching, it really means a lot. Oh, and join my Discord server in the description below for leaks on upcoming projects. But, until next time, Shoutout.
Hey, where did everybody go? Did I miss it? Was I too late? Hello?